My fellow Singaporeans, I would like to wish you all a very happy 56th National Day. For most of us, this has been a bad year. We have been hit by the virus and the damage this has caused to our economy, our personal finances, and our employment. Many of you have had to put studies on hold, and we've all been hit by the long-term physical and mental impact. So where do we go from here? In the GE, we said that we must build back better and in a fairer way as we emerge from the restrictions of the pandemic. Many of you have told me that you continue to suffer economically because the support you receive from the government is inadequate. Sadly, this is not because the government cannot afford to help you. My calculations show that the government is sitting or could be sitting on at least $2.6 trillion of financial assets. And if not, why not? Reform Party has called for all adult Singaporeans to receive support payments of at least $2,000, with additional payments of $1,000 for every child under the age of 21. This is easily affordable and would constitute less than half of 1 year's net investment contribution from our reserves. We wouldn't even have to touch our reserves to make these payments. This is not welfare, this is not a handout. This is an investment in Singaporeans, in growing our economy and building a strong Singaporean core. For many years, going back to 2010, I have criticized the PAP's model of relying on cheap imported labour to artificially boost GDP growth. When you have an economic model that relies on the cheapest imported labour, what happens when you can't access that labour? Foreign labour locked into dorms, or tens of thousands more who cannot re-enter Singapore. Well, your model collapses and your government is shown to be short-sighted. Even without the disruption of a pandemic, relying on cheap foreign imported labour has led to Singapore becoming a low-cost, low-productivity economy. Low wages combined with excessively long working hours. Worse, the gains from the extra GDP growth have not been shared with you. Instead, they have been used to build the huge reserves which are not shared with you. Singapore is a rich nation, but only a tiny elite benefit. The rest of you are excluded from that wealth. It's time to change the model. Reform Party's manifesto since 2011 has called for a minimum wage and greater restrictions on the employment of foreign PMETs, including raising the minimum salaries for S-Pass and employment pass holders. I say that the key to higher living standards is not a race to the bottom in competition with the poorest countries in Asia, but instead to become a high-wage, high-productivity country like the Western countries such as Switzerland. Remember when Goh Chok Tong promised you a Swiss standard of living in the 1990s? How is that working out? Today, many Singaporeans work for a sixth of what the Swiss national minimum wage is. It's all holes and no cheese. I'm pleased that after I called for the employment pass minimum salary to be raised to $5,000, the government raised the bar just before the 2020 election, but not by enough. Now the head of MAS has echoed my call, saying that Singapore needs to change and become a high productivity, high wage and high cost economy with a greater commitment to maintaining a strong Singaporean core. He is right, of course, to echo what I say. Reform Party is winning the policy war, but we need action. We need you to come and join us so that together we can prevent this government going to the bad old ways and shortchanging Singaporeans. If you want to be included and not excluded, then come and join us so that together we can hold the government to account. You can donate to us via Pay Now. See the details on the slide, or you can become a member or volunteer. Contact us via Facebook, Twitter or Instagram. Once again, we wish you a very happy 56th National Day.
A very good morning. Today, as we celebrate our nation's 56 years of independence, may we never forget how far the Singaporean women have come. They have struggled and toiled to make this land our home. We at the Women's Wing Reform Party hope to see more women representation in the parliament, the boardrooms, and wherever decisions are made. We at the Women's Wing would like to wish all Singaporeans a happy National Day. Selamat Hari Kebangsaan. I'm Yasmin Valentina, Women's Wing, the Reform Party.
வணக்கம். உங்களையும் உங்களை சுற்றி இருப்பவர்களை பாதுகாப்பு வைத்திட கட்டாயம் முகக்கவசம், சமூக இடைவெளி மற்றும் தடுப்பூசி. எனது இனிய தேசிய தின நல்வாழ்த்துக்கள். மாஜுலா சிங்கப்பூரா.
Greetings, my fellow Singaporeans. Happy National Day. We have come a long way since independence. Let us not forget what our forefathers have strived for. We at the Reform Party, we are fighting for a fairer and better society for Singaporeans, such as universal healthcare and free education. Do join us in the fight for Singaporeans first. Log on to our webpage at reform.sg. Thank you. Have a blessed day.
Hi, good morning. Happy National Day to Singapore. Happy 56 years of our beloved country, Singapore. And I wish Singapore have ever more success and ever more greatness and ever more, inclusive society for Singapore. And at this day, we all must unite together, come together, and see how we have come so far. It's not about how far we have come, but a real question is how far we can go from here. I hope we can avoid the mistakes and we can achieve a greater Singapore in the greatest time in the coming years. Happy 56 years, Singapore. Bye from Jangir Ibrahim, Reform Party.
Happy National Day to all Singaporeans. This National Day, let us work towards a Singapore that is genuinely free and fair, and a place that we can bring up our children in. Everything I wish to say, I believe I've said it many times, in both my own person, that my capacity as a CEC member of the Reform Party, and also in my own private capacity, on my own social media channel. And my message to all of you guys is that the Reform Party will continue to struggle for the cause of justice, truth and freedom.